Hey, what is poppin', everybody? We are back. And hopefully gonna stay out for a while. Just got really busy for the holiday season. Between having people visit for the holidays and stuff like that, and just working more hours and not for the holidays because people were gone and stuff like that. So just got super busy. There was just no way I could throw it all together. Just didn't have the time in the day. So now finally got some more time. Finally getting back into a normal schedule. The holidays are gone. So let's just hop right into it, man. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. I'm gonna have 2 picks today. There's gonna be 3 I'm gonna give you, but I think I'm solidly gonna give out 2. This will probably end up being the 3 slip by the end of the day, but I'm just gonna rock with these 2 for just now, and I'll give you all 3 by the end of the video. I guess no recap. It's been a really long time. We won't go ahead and recap the last video. It's just been a super long time. So we'll just go ahead and just start with a clean slate today. New year. Haven't made a video yet this season, so let's start the year undefeated. Let's get it. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, in the link down in the description below, I have a link that takes you straight to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy, because you're going to want to hop in on the action this year. They have added a whole bunch of new features to Underdog Fantasy this year, starting with the brand new insurance feature, okay? This insurance feature is a new thing that has been super requested for the fans and the customers of Underdog Fantasy. Essentially, all you do is you click insurance right here. And if you can see right there, all you have to do is hit 4 of these picks to win, but the value does drop down. So if you turn off the insurance, you do a $10 bet, you obviously get $200. And if you turn on the insurance feature, it drops down a multiplier down to 10. But if you miss one of these picks, say, Jameis Winston gets hurt or something, he doesn't end up throwing 2 touchdown passes. But everybody else hits, like Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson. All these guys hit. You still hit the slip. You just get it for $100. Just goes down a multiplier, which is a huge feature a lot of people have been asking for, so they received it. Also, they have added second half lines now to games. Obviously, it is on. There is nothing up because there's no NFL second half games, but they have added NFL second half. So just like for the Thursday night game, I'll throw up that clip right here. Thursday night, they dropped all the second half lines for that Thursday night game between the Bills and the Rams. They've added a bunch of new features this year. They're trying to improve to get the app better for you guys. Also, when you sign up, if you use code TAKEMYSHOT, you'll get $100 match, up to $100 match and 100% deposit match on your first time deposit. So if you do that, you can deposit $50 to get an extra $50, $20 to get an extra $20. Whole lot of stuff coming with Underdog Fantasy this year. Make sure you sign up with code TAKEMYSHOT. Now let's get to today's picks. All right, coming hot with today's lock of the day. Let's get it. Today's lock of the day is going to be coming from the Boston-Dallas game, the nationally televised 640 game. We're going to take Jason Tatum today over 38.5 points and rebounds. Today he will be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. In his last matchup earlier this season, a very close competitive game between these two teams, he dropped 37 and 13 for 50 points and rebounds in that last matchup versus the Dallas Mavericks. Coming off of that game versus the OKC Thunder, where they got bombed for 150 points versus the Thunder got slacked. He still managed in that game, even when a game where he didn't play like the entire fourth quarter. He got 27 and 6 in that one. So even in a bad game in that last matchup, he still was able to get pretty close to this number. Mavs give up the 4th most points to power forwards in the NBA. So kind of struggle versus power forwards, and they also give up 3rd most rebounds. When I was watching the film from their matchup earlier this season, offensively, he was being guarded by Dorian Finney-Smith primarily as his primary defender. Was kind of cooking him up a lot. Dorian Finney-Smith is a pretty long, talented wing defender, but I'm not going to lie, he was kind of cooking up Dorian Finney-Smith in that last matchup. And then defensively, he was matched up with Dwight Powell. They were putting Al Horford on the wing to guard, whether it was Reggie Bullock or one of those guys that just sits in the corner for the Mavericks and shoots a 3. They were putting Al Horford on that guy. And they were putting Jason Tatum on the big, and they were putting Jason Tatum on Dwight Powell. So he was matched up, and he was getting a lot more opportunities at rebounds. Obviously, 13 rebounds shows that. So that's kind of why he was doing that. If they were to do the same thing again tonight, he'd be matched up on Christian Wood, which is a little bit of a tougher defensive matchup than Dwight Powell is, especially because Dwight Powell is not a guy that's looking to score. Christian Wood is looking to score. But still look for him to be matched up defensively versus Christian Wood. But we'll see how it happens at the end of the day. So that if that does stay the same scenario, that I like that even more because it's going to give him an opportunity to get a lot more rebounds like he did in their last matchup. So look for him to have a good performance tonight for Jason Tatum to go over 38.5 points and rebounds. When they've played other guys this season that are talented at the power forward position at the all-star level, kind of like how Jason Tatum is, Julius Randle dropped him for 29 and 18 against this Mavericks defense for 47 points and rebounds, and Giannis had 38 points and rebounds, just falling that hook shy. So other elite all-star power forwards have had that similar success, so we're going to take Jason Tatum today over 38.5 points and rebounds. Okay, and the second NBA play that I like, it's gonna probably end up being on the 3 spot. I'm just a little bit hesitant on it, just because I'm double thinking. I'm just overthinking it. Second play is gonna be Kevin Porter Jr. Over 20.5 points versus the Utah Jazz today, 7-10 game. He's had a lot of success versus the Jazz this season. He's averaging 24.5 points per game. Had back-to-back hit back-to-back overs in his 2 matchups versus them prior to this season. I'm liking that. There's a little bit of a combination here that I'm liking for Kevin Porter Jr. in this matchup. When I was originally looking at these Houston Rocket lines, I was going to look to play Alperen Sengun. Here's the thing this time around, though. Alperen Sengun did not play in the first 2 matchups versus the Jazz earlier this season. So that kind of takes away a little bit of the offense that Kevin Porter Jr. produced in his last 2 matchups, because Alperen Sengun is a guy who does take a couple of shots away. Here's the thing. He averaged 16.5 drives per game in both those 2 games. The Utah Jazz, we all know, are a very bad defensive team inside. They really struggle to defend the paint. And that's what primarily Kevin Porter Jr. was doing to cook them up in their last 2 matchups. Also was hitting all of his free throws, was getting to the free throw line, hit a lot of free throws. As long as this game doesn't get out of hand, which the Rockets have the ability, sometimes they are a very bad team, sometimes they just absolutely lose it, which is the reasoning behind me kind of being hesitant, is that sometimes the Rockets just turn into garbage. They start throwing up really bad shots. They look really bad. They look like a really bad NBA team. Both times they have played the Jazz this season, they were rather low-scoring games, but they were close games. So if there was a Rockets player had to choose to have success, I'd lean towards Kevin Porter Jr. because of the drive success he's had versus the Jazz, and the defense of the Jazz that's kind of allowed a lot driving inside. So second play could be Kevin Porter Jr. over 20.5 points a day. All right, and our last play of the day today will be an NHL play. It is not going to be a goalie this time. I have yet to take, or when I've given you guys NHL plays, I normally take goalies. Today we are going to be taking a shot on goal line. We are going to be taking Sebastian Aho's over 2.5 shots on goal. The only reason I'm taking this is because it's a 2.5 line. I hate taking shot on goals lines because 9 times out of 10 it's like 2.0 or 3.0, and a lot of the times that's what those guys get to, is like 2 or 3 shots a game. So here's the thing with Sebastian Aho, though recently he has hit this over 2.5 in 7 out of 10 games. He is absolutely ripping puck on net. He has not taken less than 2 shots in 17 straight games. He has hit the over in both of his matchups last season versus the Nashville Predators. The Nashville Predators sit right in the middle. They're 16th in allowing the most shots on goal. So they're not elite at it, or they don't give up a whole lot of it, and they don't give up a little amount. They're just sitting there, literally almost sit there dead center right in the middle. So it's not a team that gives up a lot or a little. Look for Sebastian Aho to be the primary source offensively when it comes to taking a whole lot of shots. Him and Brian Burns are the 2 primary shot takers for this Carolina offense. He does take a lot, or he's on ice a lot. One of those guys that sits on ice for about 20 minutes. So I'm liking guys that are on ice for that amount of time. Recently, though, like I said, he's been taking a whole lot of shots. You have to go all the way back 17 games to a game that he's taken less than 2 shots. I know his line is 2.5, but even in games where he's not hitting, he's getting to that 2-shot goal. He just needs to get that last shot off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm liking Sebastian Aho to have a little bit of success tonight, or have a lot of success tonight versus the Nashville Predators. So give me Sebastian Aho over 2.5 shots on goal. All right, boys. So with that being said, our 3 slip is going to be the lock of the day: Jason Tatum over 38.5 points and rebounds. Then we're going to take Sebastian Aho over 2.5 shots on goal, and Kevin Porter Jr. over 20.5 points will most likely be our 3rd play. Obviously, follow me on Instagram. If this does end up changing, it will be thrown up on Instagram. But so for right now, it's Kevin Porter Jr. over 20.5 points. All right, guys. So with that being said, we are back. Finally, that's going to end today's video. I will let it be known that January 26th, track practice begins. If you guys remember all the way back to when I first moved back here originally, or moved here to Mississippi originally, I took up a coaching job, or assistant coaching job with the high school to be a track coach. So January 26th, that starts. So my schedule at work is going to change a little bit. We're going to get things figured out, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm just letting it be known now. If you guys remember last year, I also was a coach during junior track season as well. So I've made it work in the past. I'll try to make it work again. And so with that being said, guys, I will go ahead and catch you tomorrow. Peace.